Here is the second part of a 5-part prediction, looking at the potential future dystopia of England. Last time we peered into the unblinking lens of a surveillance state so thorough it could spot a subversive thought in your sleep. Now let's turn our gaze to a different beast, a manufactured climate war where the weather's fine, but the globalists have a storm up their sleeves. Simply put, it is possible that in the very near future, engineered panic about the weather will be used to seize absolute power. Let me start by saying that my grasp of science and meteorology stretches no further than having the knowledge to not hang the laundry outside when the sky is full of rain clouds and the air's cold enough to make your teeth chatter. However, I have been on this planet for quite a few years. Therefore, I can remember the scientific prophecies that failed to ripen into truth. Recall, if you will, the 1970s, when the spectre of an imminent ice age loomed large in the learned discourse. By the 1980s, we were solemnly assured that the ozone layer, that fragile veil of the atmosphere, would vanish undone, it was said, by the overuse of deodorant aerosols. The early 2000s brought forth Al Gore's grave pronouncement that the Arctic would evaporate by 2014. And then, in 2018, Greta Thunberg declared, with the earnestness of youth, that humanity faced extinction by 2023 unless the use of fossil fuels ceased forthwith. The catalogue of such forecasts is long, and their inaccuracy is a thread that binds them all. These warnings, delivered with the unassailable conviction of an oracle, yet tethered only loosely to the solid ground of reality. It requires no great clairvoyance to foresee that the scientific fraternity will shortly renew their demands to trust the science, warning once more of an impending climatic cataclysm. Our masters in the globalist elite will duly inform their pliant political puppets that the evidentiary basis is beyond contention, prompting these elected proxies to redouble their efforts, confecting a war on climate change, so transparently contrived that an episode of Love Island seems realistic in comparison. The objective here is not the preservation of our planet Earth, but the perpetuation of their own dominion to be secured through the imposition of extraordinary wartime provisions. Therefore, World War III will be proclaimed not against some hostile power across the seas, but against the gentle warmth of a summer's dusk and the bracing chill of a winter's dawn. The mainstream media will cackle with doom, with a relentless chorus of imminent collapse blasted into every home. The end is nigh, they will cry, though the skies remain stubbornly blue. It will all be justification for wartime measures that would make Stalin seem shocked. Food will be rationed. This will leave you queuing for a potato like it's 1942. There will be the seizure of all private homes, because your house is suddenly vital to national survival. And there will be the confiscation of all private possessions. This will be so swift you'll be lucky to keep your own underpants. The elite naturally won't be affected. They will hoard resources in their country estates, while claiming it's all to fight the crisis. Meanwhile, the rest of us are herded into state-controlled housing blocks that will be grey, joyless slabs that make a rundown council estate look like Monaco. If you resist, if you question the science, that will then become treason. Dare to mutter that the emperor's got no clothes, or that the climate's not actually killing humanity, and you'll be branded a threat to the realm. You will be tried in military courts, charged with being an enemy of the state. A militarized bureaucracy will conquer the country, all jackboots and paperwork, annexing all freedoms. They will claim that this is for the greater good, as they evict you from your own home and slap a QR code on your forehead. The great climate war of the near future will not be a war against the climate. It will be a war where the climate is a convenient excuse to wage a war against its own people. This could be England in a few years from now, a place where the climate's a convenient bogeyman, and the real villains are the globalists and traitor politicians tearing down our freedoms. The algorithmic overlords of the near future will use the climate as an excuse to hand the baton to tyrants, and this baton will have spikes that will punish all of us into submission. What will be left of the old English spirit, such as sticking two fingers up at petty tyrants? It will be rationed out with the food, the cash, the private property ownership, and the petrol cars. The forecast's clear. A storm is on the horizon. But the storm's all man-made.